It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, live from AYOGEN TV here in Ondo City. This is Breakfast News on AYOGEN TV. I am Charles Olowe Oluwafemi. Here are the news headline for today. On our local news this morning, Dangote Refinery begins processing 540,000 barrels per day in 3 quarters. National Assembly agrees on consensus order list condition. Our political news headline this morning: Pro-Tinubu Group inaugurates working committee. Afenifere Plan political party insists on state police constitution review. Our business news headline this morning: outline condition to awardees IOC on Thursday. Sports news this morning: Martial complete loan switch from Manchester United to Sevilla. On our health story this morning: proposed 400% health insurance tariff hike to reflect economic reality, says AGP and PN. On our foreign news this morning: Italy's presidential vote inconclusive after round 2. And on our entertainment news this morning: Sami Oposi, pastor who cheats must step down from ministry. TV's presenter Bolanle Olakomi says. Here are the news in detail. Dangote Refinery begins processing of 440,000 barrels per day in 3 quarters. Dangote Industry Limited has said its oil refinery will start processing crude oil in the 3rd quarter of this year. The president, Dangote Industry Aliko Dangote, said his plant will start with a processing capacity of 440,000 barrels per day. Mechanical work on the refinery is complete, and hopefully before the end of the 3rd quarter we should be in the market. Bloomberg quoted him as saying in a briefing at the plant site in Lagos. Full production can start maybe by the end of the year or beginning of 2023. He said the facility, which will cost an estimated $19 billion to build, has an installed capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. Its output will be more than enough to meet Nigeria's fuel demand and turn Africa's largest crude producer in an exporter of. Dangote, Africa's richest man, addressed reporters along with Akinwumi Adesina, president of the African Development Bank, which previously provided $300 million loan in support of this project. The AFDB head and Dangote discussed possible collaboration to expand the billionaire's business to more African countries to take advantage of the free trade area agreement, according to Adesina. They also talk about setting up an industrial manufacturing corps of the continent made up of the engineers that built the refinery. This will ensure that the scale gain can be shared with other countries in Africa and outside the continent. Dangote original cement tycoon is worth $20.4 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaire Index. Still on local news this morning: National Assembly agree on consensus order list condition. The National Assembly on Tuesday amended the Electoral Act Amendment Bill for the 2nd time by concurring on consensus candidacy and setting fresh conditions for political parties in the nomination of candidates for election. The President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, had vetoed the electoral bill and sent it back to the National Assembly over the restriction of political parties to direct primary, insisting that indirect primary and consensus agreements should be included. The House has amended Clause Section 87 of the Electoral Act 2010, which is Clause 84 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, by inserting the indirect primary option. The Senate, however, not only added indirect primary but also consensus adoption of candidates by a political party. By passing different amendments to the bill, the Senate and the House will have to refer to a conference committee to harmonize the differences and report back for final passage and transmission to the President for assent. However, both the Senate and the House of Representatives took shorter routes by rescinding their decision on the amendment last week and re-amending the electoral bill. This time, the House concurred with the Senate on the consensus, while both chambers passing the same condition set for the option. The new Clause 84 now reads: 2. The procedure for the nomination of candidates by political parties for the various elective positions shall be by direct, indirect primaries, or consensus. And 3rd, a political party shall not impose nomination qualification or disqualification criteria, measure, or condition on any aspirant or candidate for any election in the Constitution, guideline, or rules for nomination of candidates for election, except and as prescribed under Section 65, 66, 106, 107, 131, 137, 177, and 187 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended 1999. On direct primary, clause 84, section 4 read, a political party that adopts the direct primary procedure shall ensure that all aspirants are given equal opportunity of being voted by the members of the party and shall adopt the procedure outlined below. In the case of presidential primary, all registered member of the party shall vote for aspirant of their choice at a designated center at each ward of the federation. The procedure in paragraph A above of this section shall be adopted for direct primaries in respect of gubernatorial, senatorial, federal, and state constituencies. C. Special convention or congress shall be held to ratify the candidates with the highest number of votes at designated centers of the national, state, sectorial, federal, and state constituency, as the case may be. On the indirect primary, clause 84, section 5, read, a political party that adopts the system of indirect primaries for the choice of its candidate shall adopt the procedure outlined below. In the case of nomination to the position of the presidential candidate, the political party shall 1. Hold a special presidential convention at a designated center in the Federal Capital Territory or any other place within the federation that is agreed to by the National Executive Committee of the party, where delegates shall vote for aspirants of their choice. 2. The aspirant with the highest number of votes cast at the end of the voting shall be declared the winner of the presidential primaries of the political party, and that aspirant name shall be forwarded to the commission as the candidate of the party. Clause 84 further provides under the 7 where there's one aspirant or a consensus candidate in a political party for any of the elective positions mentioned in the subsection 5 A, B, C, and D, the party shall convene a special convention or congress at a designated center on a specific date for the confirmation of such aspirant, and the name of the aspirant shall be forwarded to the Independent National Electoral Commission or as the candidate of the party. Finally, 8. A political party that adopts the system of indirect primary of the choice of its candidate shall clearly outline in its constitution and rule the procedure for the democratic election of delegates to vote on at the convention congress meeting. On our political news, pro-Tinubu groups inaugurated working committee. The Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu movement is set to inaugurate its working committee for the actualization of the presidential ambition of the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. According to a statement on Thursday, the inauguration is scheduled to hold on Thursday at Having Event Center at Adekunle Fajuyiwe, Ikeja, Lagos. The statement was released by the movement director of publicity and communication, Mr. Mobolaji Sanusi, and jointly signed by the chairman, James Odumbaku, and the director general, Alhaji Mohammed Damuli. It read, our core objective is to galvanize support across the federation for the enthronement of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu presidency in the coming 2023 election. We firmly believe in his ability to drive the Nigerian state. We believe that he has the experience and exposure to resolve Nigeria's myriad of problems with only a good manager like him can fix. It is expected that with the emergence of Asiwaju as the next president of Nigeria, the country has got solution to our problem. Still on political news this morning, Afenifere planned political party insists on state police constitution review. The Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere has announced that it will float a fresh political party ahead of the 2023 election. The organization said this on Tuesday at its annual general meeting held at the country home of its acting leader, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, in Sanya Ogbo, Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. Afenifere, however, did not disclose the name of the party and the time it will be unveiled. Adebanjo spoke with journalists after a meeting which was attended by leader and member of Afenifere from all the states in Yoruba, including Delta, Kwara, and Kogi. He said the organization was not confused to participate in the coming election unless the constitution is reviewed and the country is restructured. He said, we are still going to take a decision on whether we will take part or not, but we are forming a political party. We are not supporting anybody. Definitely, we are forming a party. I don't believe in election until they change the constitution. There's no level playground. Fraudulent constitution. Rising from the AGM, the group issued a communique stressing the need for improved security in the country. The communique signed by the National Publicity Secretary, Jare Ajayi read. The meeting felt that one of the things that have been a great cog in the wheel of Nigerian progress today was the repushing of true federalism. Afenifere is convinced that restructuring of the Nigerian state before the 2023 general election is achievable. It is achievable through the adoption of the report of the 2014 National Conference and the 2018 Malam El-Rufai Committee of the APC on the true federalism with desirable modification where necessary. In recent time, we have constantly expressed concern on the situation of insecurity in Nigeria. Today, we have also always recommended what we consider as the way out of the unprecedented security challenge facing us in this country. In this respect, we strongly call on the present administration under President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure the introduction of state police equipped with requisite means to enhance security in the state and that of the federation. Ultimately, the performance of Amateco Security Network in the Southwest in conjunction with the Nigeria Police has shown clearly that all this criticism against state police are unfounded and self-serving. Now on business news. Marginal feed FG outline condition to awardees IOC. The federal government will on Thursday outline the policy position for the marginal feed bid round to eligible awardees who have fully participated or comply with the signature bonus payment in the 2020 marginal feed program. It said the policy position will be made public at a forum being planned by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission in Abuja. The commission disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja on Tuesday and signed by its Chief Executive Benga Komolafe. The statement read in part, the objective of the engagement forum is to state the policy position of the Commission for the marginal feed bid around. This is to enable progress of the exercise in line with the progress guideline and its compliance with the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. The forum will also appraise, distill, and clarify issues associated with the MFBR and provide relevant updates and status to all stakeholders in line with transparency policy of the government. It said all eligible awardee and relevant international oil companies associated with the MFBR were expected to attend the meeting. The NUPRC had earlier announced that the participating interest for marginal feed where the potential awardee failed to pay all the required signature bonus will be offered to reserve bidders. It disclosed this in a public notice issued by the Commission, adding that eligible reserve bidders will be contacted shortly. On May 31st, 2021, the Defunct Department of Petroleum Resources issued letter of award to investors for the production of crude oil from 57 marginal feed. The firm will be exploring a total of 57 marginal feed located on land, swamp, and offshore trade, which were put on offer by DPR in June 2020. But the notice from the NUPRC, some marginal feed award winners had yet to pay their required signature bonus before taking over the preferred feed. The notice, which was signed by Komolafe, read in part participating interest for feed where the potential awardee have failed to pay all the required signature bonus will be prorated and the portion not paid for as automatically reverted to the bid basket and will be offered to reverse bidder in line with paragraph 9 section 3 of the MFBR guideline. This is to ensure maximum participation of a wide cross section of Nigeria. Eligible reserve bidder will be contacted shortly to provide proof of funds for payment of the applicable signature bonus as a basis for the insurance of potential award letter for the equity participation taken back into the bid basket. The Commission informed the general public and in particular all participants of the letter of notification of potential award status in the 2020 marginal feed bid round that the 45 calendar days allowed for payment of the requisite signature bonus had since lapsed. Accordingly, in line with the rules and guidelines governing the 2020 marginal feed bid round and the notification of potential award letters, all over made to potential awardees who have failed to pay the signature bonus for their respective equity participation have expired by operation of law, and such interests are reverted to the bid basket due to inflection of time for payment of the applicable signature bonus. It stated, The commission stated that it will accept no responsibility or liability in respect of any action or activities by any such potential awardee, their partners, associated representative, or previous in further pursuit of any consideration or award under the said MFBR. The government has stated that some firms emerged successful for the award at a ceremony in Abuja in May last year and had called up some of them to receive their letter. Some of the firms include AA Rano Nigeria Limited, Douche Energy, and Emadeb Energy Service Limited. Others include Matrix Energy Limited, Shafa Exploitation and Production Company Limited, Casifer Limited, DuPaul Midstream Companies Limited, and Fairbank Exploration and Production Development Company Limited, among others. The exercise was carried out in two phases, which were expression of interest pre-qualification phase and technical and financial phase. On our sports news this morning, Martial completes loan switch from Manchester United to Sevilla. Manchester United striker Anthony Martial has completed a 6-month loan to Sevilla. The club announced on Tuesday as the French international looked to revive his career in La Liga. Martial will join Sevilla title charge in Spain, with the club in second place and trailing Real Madrid by 4 points. The 26-year-old told United interim coach Ralf Rangnick that he wanted to leave in January after growing frustrated with a lack of playing opportunities. Rangnick then accused Martial of refusing to travel to a game against Aston earlier this month, a claim Martial refuted. He made his first appearance under Rangnick as a substitute against West Ham last weekend and contributed to Marcus Rashford's winning goal after being jeered by some United fans when he came on. He is a great player, one of the best strikers in the Premier League, but we have other players in this position. It is his wish to leave the team. Martial was one of the brightest prospects in Euro when United signed him for a then-20 world record fee for a teenager in 2015. After a promising first season under Luis van Gaal, the Frenchman struggled to impress Jose Mourinho during his second-year spell at Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's appointment rekindled Martial's career in Manchester, and he enjoyed his best goal-scoring season in 2019-2020, net 23 goals. But a long-time knee injury saw him miss the second half of last season, and he fell down the pecking order after signing of Cristiano Ronaldo, Edinson Cavani, and Jadon Sancho. He has scored only 1 goal in 11 appearances this time, but could be a asterisk sign for Sevilla if he can recover his goal-scoring form under Joelin Lopetegui in Spain. Sevilla has been beat by a number of injuries to key players, including their top striker last season, Youssef En-Nesyri. They will also be among the favorites to win the European League, particularly at the final, as the final will be played at the old Roman Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium in May. Martial will hope the switch can also revive his hope of playing for France at the World Cup in Qatar later this year. A knee injury scuppered his chances of being included in the France squad at the European Championship last summer, while his lack of form meant he was also left out of the squad in November. On our post 400% health insurance tariff hike to reflect economy reality, says AJPMPN. The Lagos State Chairman of the Association of General and Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria, Dr. Makinde Akinlemi Bobola, says the proposed increase in the tariff of private health insurance scheme is necessary to reflect the current economic change and reality. According to Akinlemi Bobola, the present tariff of health insurance can no longer provide adequate health service for the people. The Managing Director Ultimate Health HMO, Lekan Ewenla, are described as airtime to the proposed tariff increase in the private health insurance scheme. According to the HMO boss, the proposal by the AJPMPN is not achievable and capable of disrupting the operation of the organized private sector. However, speaking with newsmen in an interview, the Lagos State Chairman of AJPMPN also clarified that the last time there was an increase in the tariff was 10 years ago. The last time there was an increase in tariff was about 10 years ago. For example, that was when the capitation was increased from 500 to 750 naira. Look at the rate of naira depreciation from then till now. The majority of the medication are imported. The one not imported have most of the raw material for their production imported, said. Speaking further, Akinlemi Bobola said the major personnel used by provider to run the scheme, that is doctor and nurses, are hard to come by now. Where you are fortunate to get them, the remuneration required to keep them has tripled, he explained. Akinlemi Bola, however, stated that the association has the best interest of the people at the heart, while inciting that the health insurance scheme is still the cheapest means of accessing good health care in the country. He urged the government and the regulatory bodies to do more to ensure the provision of quality healthcare service all the time. Akinlemi Bola, however, assured the association was ready to negotiate, but noted that the reason and fairness would be the watchword throughout the negotiation. On our foreign news this morning, Italy's presidential vote inconclusive after round 2. A second round of voting for Italy's new president failed to produce a winner on Tuesday, prolonging the uncertainty over the future of Prime Minister Mario Draghi and his government. More than half of the almost 1,000 MPs, senators, and regional representatives who voted left their paper blank for a second day, reflecting the lack of agreement on a candidate among the main parties. A third round of voting will now be held Wednesday morning, although no breakthrough is expected until Thursday. From the fourth round onward, the threshold for victory from a two-thirds majority to an absolute majority. Italy's presidency is a largely ceremonial role, but the contest this year has high stakes as Draghi is tipped for the job. A move which unsettled the fragile coalition, risk snap election, and potentially drain reform required for billions of euros in European Nation Recovery Fund. However, the presidential vote is notoriously hard to predict, with secret ballot backroom deal and lack of former candidates. Its list draw comparison with a paper conclave. No political group has a majority in parliament. Instead, almost all the parties from left to right share power in a national unity government. Draghi, a former European Central Bank chief, was brought in by outgoing President Sergio Mattarella in February 2021 as Italy relieved from a pandemic-induced recession. His government has overseen a return to growth and a successful coronavirus vaccination campaign, and it has begun major reform, notably to the tax and justice system and public administration demanded by Brussels for almost 200 billion euro, $224 billion in EU grants and loans. Many international investors are concerned that the debt landed Italy will slip behind on the tight reform schedule should Draghi leave. There are also many Italian MPs who fear losing their seat if they exist spark between elections. Others say Draghi would be better placed as president to ensure political relation with Brussels, particularly should the fair right win the next election. The head of considerable power during political crisis for the dissolving parliamentary to packing new prime minister and denied mandate to fragile coalition. Paolo Maddalena, a little-known former judge who led the field in Monday's voting, topped the list again on Tuesday with 39 votes. An equal number voted for Mattarella, 80, despite his making clear he does not oppose. Pastor who cheats must step down from ministry. TV presenter Bolanle Olakunmi says Nigerian media personality Bolanle Olakunmi has condemned Ministers of God who continue oppose publicly confessed to cheating on his wife. On his Instagram page, the singer disclosed that in late 2021, he had an affair with a lady when he traveled to the United States. He also apologized to his wife and announced that he was stepping down from his ministry for some time. Using Okosi action as an example, Olakunmi opined that ministers of God caught in a similar way must step down from leadership and hold themselves accountable for their action. In a tweet, she criticized ministers and pastors who feel like they can cheat and go on like all it's well. She continued, it is not well. Cheating is a violation that is so deep and a reflection of a deep disconnect with where you should be spiritually. When you cheat and you are to hold yourself accountable and confess when something is in the dark, let it come to the light so that there is healing. And still ministering even if you have repented. She stated that stepping down will allow such person to have moments of introspection to discover the true reason for the misconduct. Leave the ministry and go and ask yourself why you were you cheating. Find the foundation of your relationship with God before you lead other people, she said. Before we drop the curtain, group inaugurate working committee. Afenifere planned political party insists on state police constitution review. Business news, marginal feed, FG outline condition to awardees IOCs. On our sports story this morning, Martial completes loan switch from Manchester United to Sevilla. On Earth News this morning, proposed 400% increase health insurance tariff hike to reflect economic reality, says AGPNPA. Foreign news story, Italy presidential vote inconclusive after round 2. And finally, on an entertainment news, Sami Okpose, pastor who cheats more, stepped down from ministry. TV presenter Bolanle Olukomi says, here we are going to be drawing the curtain on our breakfast news this morning on AYOGEN TV. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all our social media platforms, on our Facebook AYOGEN link, on our Instagram AYOGEN TV, as well as on our YouTube channel. After pressing subscribe, don't forget to press on the alarm button so that you can get all notifications as we broadcast from our studio every day. I am Charles Olowe Oluwafemi, and I wish you a productive day ahead. Enjoy your day.